Hey there, Chadi Bazzi here. Welcome to another episode of the Top Listing Agent Show. This week, I'm going to dive into another very quick book review for you. But before I get into that, I have a question for you. And the question is, have you downloaded your free copy of the Top Listing Agent Black Book? You know, the art and science of real estate influence. If you have, congratulations. Hopefully you've read it. And if you haven't, what are you waiting for? Go to TLABlackbook.com, get your free copy, read it, apply it, and become a top listing agent. All right, on with the show. I am loving doing these reviews. Why? Because number one, I'm getting a lot out of reading these books myself, and a lot of you have reached out to me to thank me for passing on this information to you. This week's book is a classic. It is a book that I first read, I'd say about 15 years ago, and I decided to quickly read it again for the sole purpose of passing on to you the nuggets in this book with hopes that it does impact you in a positive way as it did for me way back then. What I love about this book is that it has zero boring parts to it. You know, some books are kind of hard to read. Some books we read are flat out boring no matter how valuable the content in it is. This book was written as a novel that brings you the 12 pillars of success. The title, of course, is 12 Pillars. The authors are Jim Rohn and Chris Widener. Because it is a novel, it kind of makes it hard for me to review it in a way that does not give the entire book away. So I am going to try and not give it all to you because I want each and every single one of you to read this book. The book is a small book. It's only 120 pages. Look, if you are not a big reader, if you just read 10 pages a day, you can complete that book in less than 2 weeks. Now, I am willing to bet that each of you is going to see themselves in the characters of this book. The main character is Michael. Michael is 40 years old, married for 15 years to a woman that he doesn't know how to connect with, and he has 2 children that he barely knows. As I'm reading this book, I am like, this Michael guy sounds like a real estate agent. He's not, by the way, but you get what I mean. The story begins with Michael driving to a sales appointment. When his car breaks down, he gets out of the car, walks down the street to see if anyone can help him since his cell phone is out of battery. And he comes across this big, beautiful home that the kind of home that you only see in magazines or you see on television, etc., like a mansion. A mansion that had 12 two-story pillars across the front. The sign on the gate read 12 pillars. So that makes sense, doesn't it? Yes. So he saw an old man come to greet him. The man was about 70 years old, nice man who introduced himself as Chadi. Chadi is the second main character in this novel. After they looked at the car, they got to talking, and Michael began asking questions, and this is where the real story begins. Charlie told Michael that this home is owned by a man named Mr. Davis, a very successful businessman. Michael began asking questions, and Charlie began giving answers in the form of, Mr. Davis says this and that. Charlie started to reveal, because Michael was so interested, how could one become so successful? How does one become the kind of person that can own such a large, beautiful home? And he would ask question after question. So Charlie started to reveal the 12 pillars to Michael and told him that Mr. Davis said that the first pillar to success is to work harder on yourself than you do on your job. Sound familiar? How many times have you heard me say this to you just in the last 90 days on previous episodes I shared with you? See, Mr. Davis has 12 pillars to success, and the first one he talks about is personal development. Charlie told Michael that you can work as hard as you want, long hours and everything, but as long as you stay at the same skill set, same skill level, you will never go beyond that level of pay. Okay? This is like another aha. You get it? You, as a real estate professional, have got to understand this point. You got to work on your skills. You have to work more on you than you do on your business. This means that every day you should have a good 1 hour in your schedule to level up your mind, sharpen your axe, your appointment setting skills, and your listing presentation, no matter what. Now, Michael asked Charlie, okay, how do I do that? How do I work more on me? The answer was very simple. And again, I personally have shared this answer with you a million times as well. He said, read books, attend seminars, study the best salespeople, and then apply the information. And you wonder why I am doing these book reviews? It is because I know how much value there is to pass on to you. I know that if it weren't for the books I have read, I would not be who I am today. And yes, to me, objective one of this review, yes, you should pick up a copy of this book and read it. And I really know how boring reading can sometimes be. And I want you to consider that it is those who take action no matter how they are feeling are the ones who employ the rest of the world and live the life of their dreams. Okay, on to the rest of the story. Michael and Charlie have now become friends, and each time Michael would be passing near Charlie's home, guess what? He would phone him and he would visit him, and of course the conversation would keep on going around what is the next pillar and so on. So for the sake of this review, I am not going to share all 12 with you. I will share just a few. Pillar 2 is all about well-being. Mr. Davis says that we should take care of our body because it is the only place we have to live. And we got to make sure that the outside of you is a good reflection of the inside of you. By the way, do you have a morning routine in place? See, these first two pillars should be a part of your daily morning routine. The third pillar is about the gift of relationships. The fourth pillar is about goal setting. And this setting actually takes place at a local diner. This time they're meeting at a local diner. Charlie told Michael that Mr. Davis says that the major reason for setting a goal is for what it makes of you to accomplish it. Okay, I want to repeat that one more time. Charlie told Michael that Mr. Davis says the major reason for setting a goal is for what it makes of you to accomplish it. In my own words, I always tell my clients in my listings on demand training that more important than achieving any goal is who you become in the process. Pillar number 5 is about the proper use of time. Pillar number 6 is about surrounding yourself with the best people. This I want to speak about for a moment. The world we live in right now makes it easy for us to connect via the internet, and we can surround ourselves with each other virtually. You see, each week on Monday, on Tuesday, and Wednesday, I host a live listings on demand mastermind training with some of the best agents in the country. And of course, some of these people are not yet the best, but want to be the best, so they get into my community and hang out with the best. I am sharing this with you because the place I got my biggest breakthrough in life was by surrounding myself with the best of the best in the entire industry. I left my home in Detroit 20 years ago to move to California to surround myself with Mike Ferry, with Tom Ferry, and Matthew Ferry, who I worked for and spent a good 8 hours a day with 5 days a week for like freaking damn 11 years. I worked for them, and in the beginning, yes, I worked for pennies. I did not care about the money. I cared more about being around people who are going to teach me, inspire me, push me, challenge me, and take me to places in life that I could not go on my own. Then I met a great people, through these relationships who I formed a mastermind with. That mastermind was the second best thing I have ever did. Every person in that mastermind group succeeded big time. All of us, Danny Morrell, Vinny Sacido, and Kevin Sturdivant. We would connect every day via a conference call early on in the morning. We would also connect again in the afternoon and the evening. We would meet at least once a month in mastermind. So here's a question for you. Who do you need to surround yourself with that will challenge you to become the better version of yourself? I would also like to introduce you to some of the best people you should be surrounding yourself with. And when you are ready to have that conversation, make sure to reach out to me at tlastrategycall.com. All right, let's get back on track. Pillar 7 is to become a lifetime learner. In this chapter, Charlie hands Michael a sheet of paper where the heading was Books Everyone Should Read. I just went over that list and it looks like I only read 13 of the 20 recommended books, so I got me some reading to do. One of my favorite pillars is Pillar 8. All of life is sales. And the ones that follow. the chapters that follow. So we're talking about the final 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, the final 5 pillars, the final 5 chapters. Look, based on this book being a novel and a great one, I must mention, I don't think I should share the rest of it here, as it is one that I want to be a gift for you. This novel does take a few surprising turns in a way where you are thinking one thing and then all of a sudden something else happens. And I want you to experience it for yourself. And if you are someone who is somewhat of an emotional being like me, then yes, this book will have you shed a tear at the end of it. A good tear, one that touches your heart in the most special way. And I want you to feel that. So with that said, I am calling this book review complete. And as always, I want to end by saying thank you for allowing me to be your host, your mentor, and the person you trust for advice and strategies to take your life to the best level. And when you are ready, I would love to get on a call with you so we can chat about your goals and what might be holding you back. And this is where I will give you a mini plan of action to help you reach all your goals. And you can set a call with me anytime you want, anytime you're ready, by simply going to tlastrategycall.com. See you on the next episode. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.